Well, with so many entertainment options, not in person other than Bruno Mars, it's hard to figure out what is worth watching. We've all these conversations. What do you stream and what's worth it? That's why this guy's here, Richard Roeper. Every Thursday, he's bringing us selections that you can see without leaving the house most of the time. So these three are all worth people's time, so that's good.
Yes.
Let's start in the Sheridan Cinematic Universe.
Yes, sir.
Is it a series? Is it a prequel? A lot of buzz about this one, Dutton Ranch.
Alex, this is a sequel to Yellowstone, and you've got Kelly Riley's Beth and Cole Hauser's Rip, who are my two favorite characters on Yellowstone, right? Because there's this couple, they've been through so much together, and they're in their late 40s, but there's all this passion and sex. But what I love about Dutton Ranch is now we relocate to South Texas, so it's a whole new universe here. And of course, they're only there for about 5 minutes before the fisticuffs and the guns and the corruption and the betrayal, all that good stuff. They're neo-noir westerns is what it's like, you know. And what I love, too, is they add cast members. Annette Bening plays the matriarch of the big, powerful ranch in town, and the great Ed Harris plays a Vietnam veteran who's now a veterinarian, who's a kindly kind of father figure. So you meet all these great characters. Alex, it takes you about 10 minutes to say, I know what we're doing now. We got a whole new series of obstacles. And then, of course, you have the beautiful cinematography of that South Texas, you know, those plains, those unforgiving plains.
There's Annette Bening. It was shot so well.
Beautifully done.
All right, so for this next one, people can go to the theater if they want, but they can also see this and stay home online. It might be good to go to the theater if we got rain this weekend.
There you go.
It's called Driver's Ed. Tell us more about this one.
So this is, you know, the Farrelly brothers. This is one of the Farrelly brothers. Peter's directing this. This is a throwback, Alex, to those 90s and early 2000s movies like American Pie, The Girl Next Door,
The
Road
stuff
Trip,
I grew up on.
the R-rated teen comedies. So you got Sam Navola, who was on the last season of White Lotus. He's a senior in high school, but his girlfriend's now a freshman at North Carolina. And, you know, that's that moment where you're like, oh, boy, she's an L. So he decides he's going to steal the driver's ed car and go win her back and save the relationship. So, and you got Kumail Nanjiani there, Molly Shannon. So it's the classic formula of fun young actors on an adventure, veteran comedic actors. But actually, even though this is rated R, Alex, it's got kind of a sweet nature to it and a good heart and some neat lessons, but it's just mostly big, dumb fun. I really liked it. Driver's Ed. You can just tell by the title. Okay, here we go.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
that is
you failed.
Yes.
You failed the signal.
That's right.
That's a Hollywood stop.
Hollywood stop. I've done that a couple of times for sure. Yeah. Well, finally, so we got a Netflix documentary here you also want to talk about. Marty, Life is Short. Love the title about Martin Short. Marty Supreme was taken, so they had to do this.
There you go. Yeah, but he is the supreme comedic. You know, Martin Short's had a 50-year career, and he's a little polarizing because he goes all over the top, but he's having this great career renaissance now with Only Murders in the Building. But, Alex, this is a really kind of bittersweet documentary. There's a lot of home movie footage because his wife, Nancy, passed away years ago.
A lot of family
and they would host all these parties. So there's, you know, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson and Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. This archive. But then you see Catherine O'Hara, who's recently left us. And, you know, like with a lot of comics, a lot of his comedy comes from the fact that he had a kind of a, you know, tragedy growing up. And then just recently, his daughter died by suicide a few months ago. So even as you're watching this wonderfully funny portrayal, there's a lot of melancholy, but it gives the documentary more heft, more gravitas, if you will.
And that's important, because I think everybody's got a documentary, it seems like, if you're famous these days. And the ones that just paper over the tough stuff, it's just not worth your time.
The great thing, that's a great point, Alex. This is directed by Lawrence Kasdan, who's directed movies like The Big Chill, who's a really good filmmaker and is Martin Short's friend. So he treats it like a real film story and not just a tribute.
This person's fantastic.
Yeah, really well done, but a little more profound, I think, than people might expect from a documentary about this crazy comedian.
All right, 3 great recommendations.
3 for 3.
Thank you, Richard.
Don't get used to it.
We'll see you next week. We'll be right back after this.